Hey, how's it going, guys? It's Shut Door or Door Shutter coming back to you with episode 34 of Direwolf20's 1.18 mod pack. And today we are going to get into the most pressing of matters, getting this brass pressed. Right? That's what our goal is. There's a roller thing now from Create Crafts and Additions, huh? I know that the Create Crafts and Additions mod is actually pretty interesting. They add a lot of different stuff here. So let's see. Oh, I'm typing in the wrong words. Create Craft. So there's, what do we got in here? We got like basic or electric motor. Hmm. I'm assuming that'll give you more output and all that. An alternator. Let's see. What is this? Electric motors are compact and configurable source. I didn't read that. I was kind of spacing. Huh. So the alternator, what is this? Generating electricity energy using an alternator. Oh, so you can actually make power through that? That's actually pretty cool. Huh. You also have the Tesla coil. Charge items below it. That's pretty nifty. Okay. And then, so the electric motor by the set RPM. So if we actually go back here, can we reset that? Let's see. Replay. Electric motors are a compact and configurable source of rotational force. So I'm wondering if we would be able to actually get towards that. Which, I mean, this looks not that complicated. It looks like this is something we could get to, but we would need to be able to get to the sheets, which I think we could make that stuff. Yeah. So let's actually work on getting further into Create. So the first thing that we need to look at with Create is our kind of our first set of power. This isn't really the first set of power that you should be using in Create. This is actually just decent for smaller things that you're not going to be using a lot of rotational force to overpower that, because that can't take that much. So what we'll actually be able to make is what is called a windmill. A windmill is interesting, and I've already have the stuff set up for auto crafting. But we need what is called a sail. This is, the crafting recipe for that. So we're going to try and grab 64 of this. And of course, we don't have enough wool for that. So let's actually grab some string here. I will grab a couple stacks of that. F3H, turn that bad boy off because I don't know why it's on. And then we'll grab some sails. Okay. Let's go for 128 of these. Right. Let's go for a windmill bearing. Which again, the recipe is this shaft, some sort of stone, and some sort of wooden plank. And then we will grab all of our sails because I did not grab them. And we need some sort of gearbox. We'll actually make this into a normal gearbox just because why not? All right, so where are we going to place this thing? I was kind of thinking we place this down below this area. So if we actually break through this wall, we have, well, I guess it's on the opposite side, isn't it? Let's see. So if we actually break out this way, we have this kind of like cleared out area. It's not the most even or anything, but I think we could throw the windmill out here, and sooner or later we will decommission the entire thing, so it's not like it's going to be that big of a problem. So let me clear this up a little bit. We'll throw this out here, and I got to make sure not to break into the refined storage area because it is over here to the left. So let me be back in a second. Alrighty, so I've got a room cleared out here. It's big enough, I believe, for what we're going to be using it for. But first things first, let's actually grab a wooden plank. Any kind of, I guess oak planks will work. Just one. And we'll place it right here on this wall. And then we'll take the windmill bearing and we'll put it on the back of this plank. And we will then take our sails and we will put them like so. We can actually do kind of like a double up type thing, maybe a triple up. Don't know how much this will affect anything, but we'll see here. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go 4. Oop. Oh, I actually need an axe real quick before I break anything, because sometimes create will just immediately drop the thing, or just destroy it. Who knows? For some items, so I'm not gonna be just immediately taking that out. All right, and then we will place 4 more here. I do love the placing system in Create. I think I've said that previously in the Cave Factory episodes, but it is just so awesome. Attach structures. Oh, I just did that wrong. These need to come forward. So what we can actually do is probably just plank, come back here, place this. Oop, nope. Place this. There we go. So this will basically give us rotational force using wind. If we actually grab what is called Create Goggles, I believe they're like engineer goggles or something. There we go. Engineer's goggles, perfect. Which requires a gold plate, which we can just grab an engineer's hammer and quickly make a gold plate. We're not too worried about that. And we toss these on in our Curios head slot. There we go. We can actually see, or we should be able to see. Is this not going to work? All right, let's switch these to my actual head then. There we go. So we can see that this has 2,000 stress units, 2,560 stress units to be exact. We can turn this off, and we can actually grab the Create Wrench. And you can see that with this windmill, we can currently see rotation. If we look at this, we can turn this counterclockwise, clockwise, whatever we want to do, and all of that jazz. So you can actually see whenever this started, the rotation direction. So if we actually change this, oop. Oh goodness. All right, counterclockwise. We stop this, we start it. You can see that green line going the opposite direction. So that's a pretty nifty indicator. I haven't seen that before. All right, so we have our first bit of power. What do we do with this? Well, we need to get a few things from Create to kind of get started. I would love to be able to get that motor from the Create craft thing, this thing right here. But we do need mechanical crafters, and we need 12 of these. So mechanical crafters are basically like Create's way of making crafting, right? It's a more advanced way to create machines and stuff in Create, because there's quite a bit of stuff you can actually use the mechanical crafters for. 8,000 recipes. You can actually do basically every single recipe in the game, no matter what, in these actual crafters if you really wanted to. So keep that in mind. Yeah, you can see here's like an accumulator, whatever this is. So a whole bunch of good stuff, right? You can make basically anything and everything with them, but certain things require them. So we make them by a few things, actually. I guess it's not too complicated. Let's see. Oop. So mechanical crafters. We'll press A on those. So we need brass casing, electron tubes, and crafting tables. So let's actually auto craft this. And I don't think I have electron tubes auto crafted. Strange. Okay, let's get that going. All right, let's toss this in here. Page 1, page 2, throw these in here. And then we also don't have the brass casing. So let's maybe get the brass casing real quick before we get further into this. Which looks like we actually need to be able to put a brass ingot into that. Okay. So just a new kind of crafting system here. That's not too complicated, it doesn't look like. But we'd have to get stripped logs, which I think is the problem. Is there a way to just get like stripped logs normally? Can we craft stripped logs? I mean, I guess we can from the cutting board. So from sawing, we can get that. So we could basically create a system for that. All right. So you can see that create is going to be an exponentially just massive room taker, right? So that's going to be a big thing. But I think we can work on this. Alrighty, so with the realization that we're going to be doing a little bit more with Create than what I originally thought, we are going to be making this windmill actually like this rather than the way we had it previously. And I'm pretty sure that this is not measured out correctly, which is fine. Yeah, that's alright. But we're just going to do it this way. Oop. Don't want that one there. And you can build your windmills like this. You can build them like I had it previously. You can put them on the side of like a building if you wanted to. There's quite a bit of flexibility. You can make the patterns pretty massive. I don't remember the dimensions that this, like the minimum or maximum of this. But the bigger you do, the more it will rotate, of course. So that's a thing to keep in mind. So for example, if we come in here and we add another layer, this would actually be faster. Let's actually switch to our goggles here. All right, so let's switch all this. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, and we turn this back on. Actually, hold on. I missed this last one. All right, turn this on. We're at 3,000 rather than the 2,000 we were at last time. So let's grab some gears here. So let's grab, or cog wheels, not gears. So we'll do a large cog wheel, set of small cog wheels. We actually want to make just a bit more of these here. So we'll say that one. We'll say that. We actually need shafts. So let's see, shaft. All right, let's just grab these. And we can cause this to speed up a little bit here. There we go. And we can then just throw down the gearbox, which we'll just do a vertical gearbox where this torch is. There we go. Not 100% sure why there's an Enderman in here, but there is. And then we can actually get all of our machines up and going. This should anger him because I'm not using the old set of armor. Alrighty. Let's clear out this shenanigans here. And I don't have actually my helmet on, so air affinity's not working. Let's just... There we go. Alright, so what do we want to build first? I think the one we want to go for is getting the stripped logs so we can actually make everything else we need, right? So let's actually get on that. Toss some of this stuff away. So we need to get the brass casings, so let's go for that. And I'm pretty sure we could, if we really wanted to, grab some stone out of here. And we could actually just cover this up because we don't really need this to be visible. We can leave like that center part and we'll just do, there we go. All right, so now we just have the gearbox visible, and of course we can go down there whenever we want. Let's grab a lantern here, which is the Ferroflair Lantern, which is this thing right here. We're just going to toss this in the ceiling so we can get this area lit up. So we need the cutter, the wood cutter, create wood, or like log, I don't even know what it was called. If we just actually look up oak stripped, right? We look at this, we can see that the sawing, mechanical saw is what we want. Right, so iron plates. And of course, we need to make the andesite casing, which has been changed as well. So I did not know that the andesite casing and stuff was changed. Alrighty. So we need to make an andesite alloy. Alright, all we need is one. Throw this down, right click with this. There we go. So it looks like we're doing this for more than just one machine. Alright, and that is actually in my crafting grid. That's why it's not showing up there. So let's actually just do it over here. Alright, and if I set this down, the backside is where the input is. Alrighty. So how are we going to do this? I'm thinking we grab our wrench, we rotate this. No, that's not what I want. I want it to be facing the other direction. There we go. All right, so what we'll need, how do we actually use this? So we can ponder this. Alrighty. Yeah, you can make it like a tree farm. Okay, so that did you see how that worked? Okay, so we'll need conveyors and all of that jazz. So I don't know. I guess we can create more than one windmill, so I'm not that afraid of this. So we're basically going to need this to actually be kind of in the ground a little bit more. So like here, and then we'll have the conveyors, which are dried kelp, I believe. And I don't think I have dried kelp. Let's see here. I think there might just be called belts. Yeah, mechanical belt. And I don't have kelp. So let's go grab that, and I'll be right back. Alrighty, so we have laid down 2 shafts here. We're just going to right-click here. And there we go. So this will kind of be the setup. We do need to figure a way to get this to actually rotate as well. Not 100% sure. I think what we could do instead of this is probably grab some cog wheels. These mini ones. So just the normal cog wheel. Throw that there, and throw that there. And that would be like the system. So we could actually grab, say, some oak logs. Now we can toss one at the end here. There we go. It's mining, or it's sawing it. And there you go. And then it'll just pop off at the end because we don't have any collection system. So let's actually rotate this. Let's go opposite, which is clockwise, because I just changed this to counterclockwise to look at something. And now it should be flowing in that direction. So what I was thinking is we could probably grab a crafter and put it down here. Let's see. So I think we actually need another thing to be able to do this. Not 100%. Maybe it's called a chute. No, it's not called a chute. It's called there's so many things with create. There's so many. Let's look at belt. Actually, yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Belt. We look at dried kelp. I got brass tunnel. Okay, so that's not what I want. Brass funnel. Andesite funnel. Yeah, so that's kind of what I was thinking. A funnel. Let's see if that'll work. Alright. And we'd grab a chest as well. Just a normal oak chest will be fine. And let's actually put stone here, because that's where the crafter would be. And we'll put the funnel down here. So if I tossed in, for example, 32 logs, this should just automatically get outputted. And of course, we will want to speed this up. This is slow as can be. And then we'd put a chest down here. Right? So we could do funnel. That's not working that way. Right? And then funnel, and that'll funnel that into that chest. And this would be the way to get stripped logs automatically. And then we could just say, hey, have a crafter, which I don't have on me again. Crafter. Right? Here. Let's get that actually placed properly. Alright, wrench. Refined storage is wrench. Where is it at? There it is. Rotate this. There we go. And we'll get a wireless receiver and transmitter. But we actually need to get this sped up. And the way to speed this up is by doing more of these. So I'll probably have to drop the windmill down a little bit, which is fine. We see that this is working. That's kind of the premise. So what we would need now is to have another system. So probably like right here, because we have this shaft here. So we'd want a deployer, right? We'd want something placing a block down, and then we'd want the deployer. So I think like right here would be where we are putting the item down. So let's actually just grab a torch. That's easier than just taking out the block. So we'd have the, whatever it is. So the block. Let's see here. That's the way I'm trying to think of this. So casing, andesite. So we could put this on a depot and go from there. Okay. So we put the deployer here. We put the depot here. Depot, whatever it's called. These things. Which is made now with an andesite casing. So let's actually grab another piece of andesite here so we can make a casing. Alrighty. And we will then grab a depot. We'll place this down here. I would think that would be fine. Let's go grab the deployer that I have in this chest, which we're going to be using for later, but that's fine. I don't really care. We may need to actually grab a gearbox to place this down properly, but that's all right. So I think we need to actually set this down up here. Okay. That might be 2 blocks. That might be too tall, but I don't... well, yeah, maybe it is. Hold on. So let's take this back out. There we go. Let's put this here. And that should be what we need to do. Let's just rotate this. Oh, come on. There we go. Oh, the saw blade actually hurts you. That's awesome. Alrighty. And then we'll say this. We might need another gearbox. I'm just going to gearbox the ever-living crap out of this or something. That works, right? Alright, so let's grab Andesite Alloy. Boom, 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 boom. Pick all these up. And then we will need another gearbox. Alrighty. So we'll do shaft, vertical gearbox. Nope. Okay, so I just face this way then. Alrighty, and then that. Okay, and if we put this here and we feed this an andesite alloy, there we go, and this gets removed, and we say grab, you know, this, boom, and it'll just keep going until it runs out of alloy. All right, so how would we worry about this system? So I'm thinking we do another crafter, right? So iron crafter, because we want to be able to feed this brass, and we'd want to be able to feed this. What other materials? Probably some other ones that I don't know of yet, right? So we'd want to be able to make this foolproof. So we'd have that there, and I think to just make this easier, instead of using just everything create, we might just use item pipes. But then again, also because we really can't set more than one filter, I don't think, with create, can we? At create filter. Oh, so I guess we could, right? So let's see. So we grab this filter. What's the difference? Controls outputs. Attributes and categories. So that's an attribute filter. So we'll just go for a normal filter. Can we right click with this? Okay, we can. So we just say andesite and brass. All right. Take this, put that there, that there. Alrighty, so I have the filter made, and I've placed this actually in the deployer with the brass and andesite alloy and ingot in here. And I was trying to figure out ways to basically move, you know, the item, the brass and andesite ingot and alloy, from this chest to there. Okay, and it's kind of complicated because we also need something to go here, right? We need the casing to go here, or the stripped log to go here. So we need one input that is coming from this chest down here, one input coming from this chest going here. And I had to do some research on this because honestly, I'm out of my depth when it comes to create. And I figured out a somewhat solution for this. I'm not 100% sure if I'm quite sold on this yet. But what we're going to do is we're actually going to place shaft here and a shaft here, quite short here, that's fine. And then we're going to get a weighted ejector, which this is the recipe for it. It's not too fancy. But what you need to do is you actually need to right click, shift right click on the block that you want it to be selected. And you can see this green box saying, hey, this is correct. You can place this here. So we're going to place this here. And now you can see that there is a green line going from this to there, right? And what we'll do now is we'll take a mechanical belt, attach this here. We will then put a brass funnel here. And I'm actually going to take this filter out. And I'm going to put that here with the amount of 1. Right? Because we only want really 1 to that deployer. And then we will need to power both the shafts and the actual ejector. So let's grab some gearboxes, which I have here. Let's all turn these to these right now. And we're going to basically put one here, shaft, shaft, shaft. And then we can actually just do the exact same thing here, just to make it a bit easier. All right. So if I throw in, actually I already have a brass ingot in there. So you should be funneling. Why are you not funneling? It is because I have this in the actual wrong rotation. You guys can see that, right? So this is going the wrong direction, which is my fault. So we actually need to figure out, maybe we go from this point right? Boom, boom. And then gearbox, and then gearbox, and then that. Let's see if that'll work. Okay, there it goes. It's in the deployer. It should have been in the deployer. Why are you not accepting that? Is it because you don't have any actual power going to you either? Okay, so let's go vertical gearbox. And then another vertical gearbox. Right? We'll need to get that to rotate the other direction. And then shaft. Right? And let's see if we throw this brass ingot in here. It gets launched. Okay, it's not being accepted. So how do we work on that? I think what we could actually do is grab an andesite funnel. I think. I'm kind of guessing here. Some sort of funnel. I accidentally just grabbed 26 of those. That's my bad. Whoops. All right. And we'll instead pick up this injector again. Shift right click on the actual funnel here. Place this back down. Let it, reset. Throw in the brass ingot when it's done. There we go. It'll then get launched into the funnel, and then the deployer has it. Perfect. And then all we have to do for this is place this here, and we should be able to then grab a belt, which we're actually out of. So let's grab a belt. Mechanical belt. Let's just grab a couple of those. That there. Brass funnel. And then let's grab another filter. So at create filter. So just normal filter. All right, so with this filter, we need to put the stripped logs. So let's go oak. Stripped, maybe? I don't know, let's see. Have I not? Okay, they're still in here, that's fine. So let's grab that. Oak stripped log, allow list, go with that. And then we will actually put that on this with a filter of 1. And then, of course, we'll need to connect this, which we can do here. I think that'll be fine. This kind of looks like terrible, but that's okay. I have, like, awful shaft placement, I guess. And then we can actually throw the stripped log in here. That'll get ejected. Put on the depot. We then have a casing. This is awesome. Okay. So while this isn't the cleanest, this is the end goal. Of course, we will need to test this with another item. We also need to pull this off, which actually we can just deal with an importer. All right, so if we do, I guess we have the cabling facades, and we also won't come down to this room that much. So let's just run this all the way back to the crafter, which is here. Okay, pull from here. We'll grab some cable. Right, 20 cable. That'll work. Okay. And we'll have to name the chest, by the way, that these are interacting with, because it's going to be a lot more confusing if we don't. All right, and stone, so we can cover up the bottom of this. And that should be our system complete. We will have to connect this to the refined storage system. Hence why I actually was not seeing the stripped pattern, because we don't even have a pattern, and it's not also connected. So that should be good. Let's pull this off manually. And what we'll do again is we will actually do both test fires at once. So we're going to do stripped log, andesite alloy. There we go. Put on the depot. It's launched. It's thrown. There we go. We now have a andesite casing. Also, probably should do this. Andesite casing, brass casing, types, items, whitelist. That's the only 2 items we want pulled. Everything else should stay. All right, go one more. And then we'll get this connected to the refined storage system. It is launched. It is thrown into there, and we have another casing. All right, let's grab some network stuff here. So network transmitter, network receiver, network card. All right. And let's go place. So we need the receiver. We'll probably place that just like right here for now. I think that'll work. And we can just cable over. Right. And of course we'll need our network card. And a way out of here. Network card. Did I not grab it? Probably not. Network card. There we go. There we go. And then we'll fly over here. We'll throw that transmitter into the room real quick. If I can get out of here. All right. And we also do need to grab the actual receiver out of the system, or the transmitter out of the system too. So, and go back in the room here. This, there. All right, so that should connect everything in the create room. Now we just need to make some patterns, I believe, but I want to go check to see if this is actually in here. Okay, and then we should look in here and we should see casings because I shouldn't have any crafted, which is good. Let's go teach this thing how to craft these. So stripped logs is literally an oak log. And that should be just a decent, thing. So let's go in here. Let's go pattern manager. Let's see here. So we want brass. All right, so we want an andesite casing, which is this recipe right here with an oak stripped log. Okay. Create. We also want to make a recipe for this, which is this. Okay. And we'll go throw these two in the chest, or down here into the actual crafters with the unmarked chest. So this is the stripped log recipe, and this is this. Cover all of this up here. So what should happen, and actually I need to connect this, some sort of importer. Okay, let's grab an importer. I forgot to put this one on. I wonder how our silicone's doing. I'm pretty sure it should be full by now. And I keep using pieces of it, so I don't think it's like full. Not turned off because it probably populates a few pieces every once in a while. All right, shift. And then we'll just go to here. There we go. Okay, so that should be good. So now what we should see happen is if we say casing, right? We don't see... I didn't teach this brass casing. I forgot about that one. All right, so brass casing needs to be taught. So we'll look at brass casing, which this should just be an oak stripped log again. Of course, we don't want tins, so we'll just set that there. And we'll go through this in there. So I want to see both patterns be used real quick, and then I'll be satisfied to see this is going. Oh, and that hurts, by the way. I forgot about that. All right, so brass. So we'll take out this casing. We'll make sure we don't have any oak stripped logs in here, and we will go ahead and we'll look at the casing again. All right, so andesite casing, go. Here comes the log. It's cut. It's stripped. There we go. Thrown in there, imported. You see the andesite. There it goes. And then we have a casing. It is put into the system. All right, brass casing. So there's that. All right. It's done. You should see it come out here in a second. There's the brass flies, and brass casing. Awesome. And that's done with Create. Like, that's not using any other real mod besides Quark, I guess, because the chest. But anyway, that is awesome. Huh. And that wasn't too complicated. I mean, I may or may not have delete an entire segment based around me messing up completely, but that's all right. You know, I got there in the end. That's a good thing. All right. Now, why did I do this? Because honestly, I don't remember. I'll be back. Alrighty. So, with this contraption behind me complete, we're actually going to wrap up the episode. So, before I do that, we are actually going to look at a few things here. So, what are we doing next episode? And this is not going to be planned, but I want to lay out some stuff that we're going to be accomplishing. So, the electric motor is what we're gearing towards, right? We are building, certain contraptions to be able to make the electric motor feed RF into this and not have to use windmills or any other source of create stress units such as the windmill or water mill, right? But of course, we need a copper spool, which is copper wire, which we can get from Create, Crafts, and Additions or Immersive Engineering. I'm probably going to go for the Create, Crafts, and Additions one, which is through the rolling, which is rolling a plate. And plates, of course, come from multi-servo press or the pressing machine or mechanical press. And, of course, we then need brass sheets, which come from the pressing, mechanical press. And we'll also need to get mechanical crafters, which aren't that hard to make. We have everything now for them, especially since we made the brass casings automatically now. So we're kind of gearing up towards this rolling machine, which isn't that expensive. We do need, iron plates, which I think I have on auto crafting, and we'll have to, work towards that. So with that being said, there's a whole lot to create, and well, it really looks like we're going to be creating some pretty cool things. I am going to be trying to do a lot of the create stuff purely with create. I know in the past in Cave Factory I used item pipes and various other things, but I'm going to try and stick with things that are geared completely around create. So like the create mod itself, the create crafts and additions, the create confectionaries, create deco, whatever these mods can add, right? So with that being said, I can't wait to get creating with you in the next episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay awesome, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.